Being comfortable. You know, um, there's a quote out there where it's like, you gotta get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And that's true. Like, too many times and stuff, you know, people, they, sometimes, you know, people, they trick themselves, you know, into thinking, oh, I can't do it, you know, oh, it's too hard, you know, different types of, you know, too big, different goals and stuff, you know, just too big and stuff I can't accomplish. But a lot of times and stuff, you know, what it is people don't want to get uncomfortable. It's comfortable to be in different situations, you know, like, you know, just a job or just stay in the hood, you know, it's comfortable. You know, you get services, you get programs and stuff, you know, that goes to you each month, you know, you get more help that way. There's no, you know, you stay that route, you know, you may deal with some different things, different issues, but nothing dramatic will happen. You just be, you know, live a, you know, I wouldn't say basic life, but it's getting to a point where it's like a struggle. Like, just like you're gonna be living a life of struggle, but it's just not gonna be. You're not gonna have to go through a lot of hoops and bounds and stuff. You know, I have chaotic things happen or potentially happen. You know.
Yeah, and the thing about comfort is so tricky because it can mask itself under, you know, feeling like you've already made it, or feeling like there's no hope.
Yes.
All right, you can tell yourself, "Oh, there's no way I can make $1 million. I might as well just keep going to work, stick to my 9 to 5, just keep doing what everybody else tells me to do. Like, why go against the grain? I won't make it anyway." But the thing is if you're not growing, you're decaying. There is no middle ground.
That's good.
A plant, if you sit it outside, either it's going to grow or it's going to shrivel up.
That's it.
It's the same way with life. And so you got to ask yourself, you got to be really honest. Am I growing or am I decaying? And if you find yourself, you know, sitting at home doing the same thing every single day, no stimulation, no growth, you know, you're not writing down goals, not working towards any goals, then it sounds like you're decaying. And that's the danger of being comfortable.
Yep.
It's that mindset.
Yep. I see it all, you know, I see it a lot. You know, you go into these different factory jobs, you know, and, you know, this is like the old way, you know, the 40-40 system, you know, work 40 years, 40 hours a week, you know, you can retire. But, you know, you speak to these people, like, they wish they would have did something different. They wish they would have got out there and stuff and started doing different things. I had a lady, it was sad. Man, it was so sad because she was real close. I was really close with her at this one job. And she was in her mid-50s. And she was talking about going to med school. She always wanted to, you know, be a doctor, be a nurse. And she was like, you know, I just been wondering though, should I go though? Because I just feel real old. And I'm like, you know, I want to be that person, be like, yeah, you know, you can chase, you know, you can go for it. But it's like, man, you are up there. But what I basically told her is go for it. You know, just go because you don't know how long you're gonna live. You might live till you're 90. Heck, that you're in your early 50s. You got about 30 some more years and stuff. You know, 40, you know, possibly. So it's like go for it. But you know, she says, I wish I would have did it before because she feel like she wasted so much of her time and so much prime years, so much time where she could have been helping people because she really want to help people. But she got to a point where it's like it got comfortable for her. And she's told me, she said she used to say all the time, "Don't get comfortable here. Don't get comfortable. The checks start coming in and stuff. You know, it may look nice. Don't get comfortable. Find something. You know, always look for something else. Stuff. Look for bigger, better things." She said a lot of people around here, they got come. They signed up for this job. It was like, I'm only gonna be here a year or two, and I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna do this, and they end up being 20, 30 years.
They got comfortable. It's so easy to do.
Yep.
That's what the most of the world does. That's what they tell you to do, whether they realize it or not. Like you said, go to work, get you a good job, stay there for 40 years and retire.
Yep.
That whole recipe spells out comfort, and at the end of it, there's no prosperity, there's no wealth in that. You're not gonna become wealthy. You're not gonna get rich, be successful even with that type of lifestyle.
No.
To obtain success, you have to get uncomfortable. It's just part of the process. My father, he's told me frequently, well, especially when I was younger, he said, you never want to say what if. Like, live your life in a way that will take away the opportunity for you to look back and say, what if? Like, what if I could have done that?
Mm-hmm.
What if I just would have tried this?
Mm-hmm.
What if I would have took that chance? Take the chance. You only live once.
Mm-hmm.
You only live once. It's not worth getting comfortable, because in that comfort comes disease, comes hurt, comes poverty.
Yep.
And once you're comfortable, you're going to attract other comfortable people around you to try to coddle you. So now you're even deeper into it.
Exactly. And it passes down to your kids. Like, people just, people, they want to say it, but, I feel not trying to do good for the, your kids and stuff, it's a selfish thing. Like, not trying to get wealthy is a selfish thing, to a certain extent, because you're not thinking about the people that need money, homeless. You're not thinking about your kids, generational wealth. You're setting them out for bad. So you said one thing. You was like, it's it could be contagious. It could be something that could spread. We see that. You go to the hood. Unfortunately, you got Granny living in the same house as the mom, and the daughter's on the way to follow the cycle. And it's sad because I've seen it a lot. I hear a lot. Go get your little job. You can sign up for, go to a based on income place. They help you out, with a portion of your rent. Stay at that job, live a little comfortable. Get you a little, a little girl and stuff, and you be good. Just chill out. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to, because like then what am I setting my kids up for? A lot of the reason why, this is it's gonna be unpopular to take, but there's a reason why Caucasians, they set up the kids for generational wealth. Most of the times, the kids are getting passed down the house by the time they hit 30-something. Our people, they're in apartments, they're renting, like they have nothing to pass their kids. In fact, our people, unfortunately, the elderly people, they get into an age where they need the kids to take care of them.
Yeah.
And it's sad, so yeah, it's a selfish thing, just to be in that comfort state, because you're not thinking about, the generations that come after you, and how it's going to affect them, because it is.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's a spiral.
Yeah.
It is perpetuating unless one person, like one of ourselves, is trying to do breaks that chain.
Exactly.
And says, you know what, I have to get uncomfortable. Yeah. That's the only way we're going to get out the situation. Is if I do something different that I'm not accustomed to. That's what being uncomfortable is going outside of what you're accustomed to. Right? But I think there is another side to it too, though. So we've been talking about getting uncomfortable to get out of poverty, but there's also a comfort in riches. Right? It makes me think about a story of a man who had worked most of his life. He had accumulated like a lot of money, a lot of stuff, right? And with all of his stuff and all the money he had made, he was just storing it up. Yeah. And this was way back then, so it was more like, his flock, his seeds and stuff. Yes. But in today's world, it'd be like, he had a whole bunch of money in his bank account. Yeah. He didn't really do anything with it. He didn't really travel. He didn't give to anybody. He was just storing it up, putting it aside. And he had a benchmark. Let's just call this $5 million. He was like, I want to make $5 million. Mm-hmm. And it took him like 67 years or so, right? A long while. But he made that $5 million. And once he made that $5 million, he said, okay, now I can relax, right? That very next day, he died. Very next day. The moral of that story is you can't get comfortable no matter what. Yeah. Don't seek comfort in the money, the material things. Don't seek comfort in poverty for sure. We just talked about that one. But also don't seek comfort in your riches, in your esteem, because all of it is vain. It all leads to death. There's no good that comes from it. right? You know, you gotta keep wanting to grow and thrive, not just for yourself, like you were talking about, but to help other people.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. But the only way you can do that is if you get uncomfortable.
Yeah, and about taking risks. Like, you know, you look at a lot of people. They be like, well, a lot of these millionaires, you know, a lot of these billionaires, they got passed down. They got, you know, money passed down to them. You know, they trust fund babies and stuff like that. You know, and some of it's true. Like, you know, a lot of them, like they grind, they work, they took risks. You know, you hear about these. You know, they got these movies and stuff. You know, you talk about The Big Short and stuff. You know, where those one dudes, they was like, hey, we're gonna go short the banks, and so that's a risk. They stepped in on faith, and they like, you know, no matter what, you know, this fails and stuff, then, you know, I just go back and stuff, you know, to live my life and stuff. Gotta work off, you know. Obviously, you got the loans and stuff. You know, you got the money you took out, you gotta pay back. You know, you're gonna have a little struggle, but he was weighing the risk. There's a lot of benefit if this does work out, and they end up working out, and you know, they end up being one, you know, some of the richest dudes, and you know, but it's just about taking risks, and people, you know, they just don't want to take risks, you know, if they're scared, you know, and that's what, you know, that's what the government wants you. They want you to be scared, take risks. That's why they show you, like, they push it down your throat and stuff, you know. At least some of the schools I went to and some of the teachers and stuff, you know, they talk about, you know, oh, you know, I had so and so try to start this business stuff, you know, it failed, or I tried to do so and so, you know, and it didn't work out, you know, and misery loves company, so they're only gonna, you know, if something didn't work out for them, they're not gonna, you know, most people are not gonna tell you, well, it can still work out, you know, you can do this and that. So a lot of people are going to be like, no, it's not going to work out. Don't even try. Because misery loves company. You know, it's, you can't let people, you know, sway your decisions. You know, obviously and stuff, you know, you got to be wise, you know, listen to the right people and stuff, get a feel. But ultimately, it's going to come down to you. You know, you gotta take risks. You have to. That's the only way that's going to change.
Absolutely, because there's no reward without risk.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just not. And honestly, if you dig deep enough into comfort, you'll hit fear. I don't care what angle you're digging from.
Yeah.
Fear is at the root of it. I know for the sake of this conversation, we're talking about comfort.
Yeah.
But to your point, if you don't take the risk, you're never going to reap any type of reward.
Nope.
I mean, think about all of the great leaders, the great entrepreneurs, you know, the visionaries of the past, the future. They have a commonality, is that they went against the odds. They did pretty much the opposite of what everybody else around them was doing.
Mm-hmm.
They took a chance. They took a huge risk.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a huge risk, the reward must be immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but that also takes proper evaluation too, right? Like, it's not going to make sense for me to run around the globe on my 2 feet if the reward is going to be a $100 gift card to Walmart.
Yeah.
Like that, okay, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't
right?
make
It doesn't
sense.
make sense. But other things like sacrificing 15 minutes of my day for the next 6 months, if that's going to mean me getting a raise at my job that'll help bring my family out of poverty, that's worth it.
Yeah.
But you first have to get uncomfortable. You first have to feel uncomfortable in your situation.
Yeah.
You first got to get to the mindset that, like, okay, all of this nonsense going around me is not good. It's not doing anything good or anything healthy for myself, my family. We got to get out of here.
Yep.
I have to get out of this place.
Yep.
That's where you have to get to mentally.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'll just stay in comfort.
It's crazy how they got the lottery system. So all you hear in these jobs is, oh, if I win it big, I'm just going, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Ooh, look at that. Like, people, and I'll try to do the math on this, but it used to be $1, now it's $2 per ticket. People probably play the lottery, let's just say it goes on for like a week, 2 weeks. $2 every week. You could say every week. Or, $2 every week. $8. So $8 a month, times 12, you got $96. $96 a year. 40 years a lot of times and stuff. People do it for a while. They've been doing it for, so $96 times 40. I'm trying to do quick math. that puts you. Oh man, video was watching this right now.
You said 40 years?
Yeah, times 40, 96 times 40.
Regardless, it's a lot.
Yeah, regardless, it's a lot of money.
Yes, it's a lot of money.
But I mean, people they're willing to dish out all this money. You know, you bring the math to them, it's like we're not gonna win this much and stuff. You know, people they buy more tickets than that. That's just like, you know, that's being conservative. You know, it's insane. You know, because it takes no work. You know, it takes little risk, $2. You know, but $2, you know, over an amount of time and stuff. You know, playing that often, how I see, at least my family used to play it. It adds up. But it's a little risk and stuff, you know. So with a good chance, you know, not a good chance, with great rewards, I would say. And so very little chance of you winning. But it's crazy. It's so successful because it's little risk. It's high reward. People be like, "Whoa, that's what you want to get for low risk, high reward." But the probability, it's low.
Impractical.
It's impractical. Yes. Like you spent time going to go get that ticket, then you pay for the ticket. Please take that little time and do almost anything else with it, and you have a way better chance of completing that goal and stuff, or getting to learning a new skill that could potentially get you a better job, you know, or end you up in have you in a better outcome than going to go drive to the gas station, go to the store, go buy a lottery ticket, and just keep on dumping your money, wasting your time.
Yeah, you just hit on a huge thing of like people. They want $1 million, but they have $100 mindset.
Yeah.
You want $1 million, but you have a $10 mindset. Let's just think about this. In what universe, on what planet, in what society would $1 million be attracted to the person that is only putting out a $10 mindset? That's not how the law of attraction works. The law of attraction tells us that before you make $1 million, you have to become a millionaire. I'm talking about something new. Some of y'all haven't heard this before. If you want to make $1 million, you have to become a millionaire. It's that simple. You have to adopt the mindset of a millionaire.
That's it. Move
like a millionaire moves. Think how they think. Talk the way they talk.
That's it.
Do business like the way they do business.
Yep.
Next thing you know, not only will $1 million come, 5, 10, 15, 20, it just keep going.
Yep.
But it all starts with that mindset. It all starts with, I have to change from the person that I am now, which means I have to get uncomfortable.
Yep.
That's the name of the game.
That's it. Get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
Just to get uncomfortable again.
Yep.
Yeah. Get uncomfortable, y'all.
Yep.